This summer, the United States and Turkey met in California. 90 minutes of football. One winner, one loser, and absolutely nothing of consequence decided. 60 years ago, they had a rather more serious appointment. I'm Crane. Think of me as the voice in the back of the classroom that the history teacher hated. Except I did the reading, and I'm right. No one has put it on a highlight reel. So let's.
In 1961, the United States delivered 15 Jupiter ballistic missiles to Turkey. Each carried a nuclear warhead. Each was aimed at the Soviet Union, with Moscow itself comfortably within range. Officially, this was the alliance at its finest. A NATO partner trusted with the most powerful weapons in the American arsenal.
A generous gift. The sort of gift where you hand your friend a loaded weapon. Leave it facing the largest, angriest country on Earth, and then express surprise when that country takes it personally.
The country was the Soviet Union, and its premier, Nikita Khrushchev, took it very personally indeed. Of all the provocations of the early Cold War, the Jupiters in Turkey were among the ones that irritated him most, and so he began to consider a reply.
You place missiles on a man's doorstep, he decides to place some on yours. 90 miles from Florida.
October 1962. American reconnaissance aircraft photograph Soviet nuclear missile sites under construction in Cuba. For 13 days, the United States and the Soviet Union stand closer to nuclear war than at any point before or since. The public story of those 13 days is one most people know. A young president holds his nerve. A naval quarantine is drawn around Cuba. The Soviets, at the brink, turn back. Khrushchev blinks. America wins. It is a clean, satisfying story. It is also incomplete, because the crisis did not end with one side blinking. It ended with a deal, and the deal had a price that could never be spoken aloud.
Most great victories have a second version, kept in a drawer, that nobody reads at the ceremony.
On the night of October 27th, the president's brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy, met privately with the Soviet ambassador, Anatoly Dobrynin. The arrangement they reached was simple. The Soviet Union would withdraw its missiles from Cuba. In return, the United States would quietly remove its Jupiter missiles from Turkey within a matter of months. There was one condition. The Turkish half of the bargain could never be made public. To the world, the Soviets would simply have backed down.
So the official scoreboard reads, America 1, Soviet Union 0. The actual result was a draw. They just agreed to keep one of the goals off the record.
Only 9 American officials were permitted to know the truth, among them the president. And keeping a secret that small in a government that large required something remarkable from him.
The United States did not trade. We did not bargain away an ally under threat. The Soviet Union withdrew, and the world stepped back from the edge. That is what the world will be told. And the world will sleep better for believing it. Someone has to know the rest. It may as well be me.
It was not a lie told for vanity. It was a silence held so that a defeated superpower would not feel humiliated into starting the war all over again. Kennedy understood something his critics did not, that to end the crisis, Khrushchev needed a way to retreat without looking as though he had. Maintaining the secret meant the president could not be entirely honest even with the men who had held his office before him. When Eisenhower, Truman, and Hoover were briefed on how the crisis had ended, each was given an account that left the Turkish missiles out. Eisenhower was told the Turkey question was something the administration couldn't get into. Truman was told the trade had been rejected outright. Hoover was told the Soviets had simply returned to reason.
3 former presidents. 3 different versions of the same evening. The remarkable part isn't that he kept the secret. It's that he kept 3 secrets, in parallel, and never once mixed up which president got which one.
It was an extraordinary feat of discipline, and it was about to collide with a problem the secret could not solve: Turkey itself. Turkey had been promised these missiles. It had signed agreements to host them. It had built them into its sense of its own security, and it had not been told that they were now a bargaining chip, already spent. Washington faced a delicate problem. It had to remove the missiles to honor a secret deal without admitting the deal existed, and without making a loyal ally feel discarded. The solution was a single, carefully chosen word. The withdrawal would not be called a withdrawal. It would not be called a concession. It would be called modernization.
Modernization. Let me translate that from the original diplomatic. It means, we are removing your nuclear missiles. Because we secretly promised the enemy we would. And we would be ever so grateful if you could experience this as an upgrade.
The Turkish government was not convinced. Its defense minister warned that removing the Jupiters would damage Turkey's confidence in the United States. The Turkish military, having grown rather fond of its missiles, was reluctant to part with them.
Imagine being told your home security system is being modernized. And the modernization is that it leaves in a crate and does not come back.
In April 1963, the modernization arrived. A Polaris submarine, the USS Sam Houston, paid a visit to the Turkish port of Izmir. There were photographs. There was positive coverage. The submarine stayed a few days, and then it sailed away.
That was it. That was the upgrade. A submarine came to visit, waved politely, and left. Turkey traded 15 nuclear missiles for a very brief and very expensive houseguest.
By the end of that month, the last Jupiter missile in Turkey had been dismantled. The secret deal was complete, and the silence began. The men who knew kept their word. For more than 25 years, the Turkish half of the Cuban Missile Crisis stayed out of the official record. It was not formally acknowledged until 1989, by which time most of the participants were beyond the reach of any follow-up questions.
A quarter of a century of silence. Either the most disciplined secret in Cold War history, or proof that if you want something to stay hidden forever, the trick is simply to never tell more than 9 people.
And so the story we inherited was the clean one, the president who held firm, the enemy who blinked, the victory without a price.
All true, just not the whole truth. The whole truth was quieter, harder, and a great deal more impressive than the version we were handed.
Today, the Jupiter missiles are a footnote. Turkey and the United States remain allies, and every few years they meet on a football pitch and settle their differences over something that mercifully decides nothing at all.
So next time someone calls the Cuban Missile Crisis a clean American win, you'll know better.
It ended in a draw. One side just kept their goal off the scoreboard. For 25 years. Far better, on the whole, to settle these things with a football.